Hello and welcome back to my workbench. It is time once again to fix something. And today on the workbench I have another PS5 Fat Edition that is supposed to be very, very dead. And we're going to find out right now just how dead it is. I believe this is supposed to be no beep, no lights, a whole lot of nothing. But sometimes people lie about that kind of thing. But anyway, hopefully that's what the description was. Just dead. So let's give it some voltage. Power supply did start. I saw that little dip. So what does it do anything? Does it give us any beeps, clicks, strange noises? No. I believe the power supply did start. It could have shut down shortly thereafter, but so rather dead. Okay, well that's some truth in advertisement finally. She is very dead. Okay, that's the way I like them. All right, let's get some covers off of it and let's see why it's so dead. Okay, board is out, and I can tell you I'm already seeing quite a bit of flux. I did finally 3D print some of these covers for the APU. I'm glad somebody came up with those. So just keep my fingers out of the... Ooh, I see liquid metal right there on the board. I'm seeing a lot of flux, like a lot of flux. Not sure how well it's going to show up in the Southbridge area. How well it's going to show up on camera, but there are signs of a lot of flux in this area. So I'm going to guess somebody has replaced a south bridge, and maybe it didn't go so well. I'm seeing, hang on a second, I gotta look at this under the microscope. I'm seeing flux, I'm seeing big solder balls floating around on top of components. Let's switch to the microscope right quick like. Let me see, just a second, microscope. I've seen things that cannot be unseen. Yes. What the hell is this? Is that the solder balls that were under the south bridge that are now on top of some components? We've got an inductor knocked loose there. The whole board is swimming in flux. I'm not sure what's going on there. We got a blob of solder. We need to look up under this thing. This is a 61GG, but this is an EDM-032 board, so I think these could have had either one, a 69 or a 61, so I can't say for sure if that's the proper one for it. I see solder on these pads that should have been just bare copper. So I think someone has attempted to replace the south bridge. All right, let's look up under the edge of the south bridge to see what kind of sins we can expose. Okay, yeah, that's well, that's something. I really can't even see the solder balls under there. I can kind of see them. And she's sitting flat to the board on this side. Like completely flat to the board. And I'm wondering, I'll have to check which, there's an escaped solder ball there, it looks like. So yeah, there's, you can see the pads right there. This thing is not sitting down properly. Try to get it in focus there. So yeah, that's never going to work. Because a lot of its solder balls are over here somewhere. So we got some cleanup to do. We need to, I wonder if this thing is good or dead. Let's look at the back side of the board. where the south bridge goes. Okay. I just see some flux running through some of the vias. Don't see any components knocked off right now. So maybe this is just a south bridge replacement gone bad. I have to check the placement of that resistor right there to see if this is the position. It's jumper to ground. And I can't remember if that's the jumper to put a 61 on or a 69. Let me check. One moment, and I will check in my notes. Okay, I finally found my information, and I've oriented the board so it's turned the same way as this picture that I'm going to try to insert that shows that with the resistor turned this way, it is set for a 61 GG. So we're good there. So they have not tried to replace a 69 with a 61. So maybe we just need to pull off this south bridge and reball it and see if it'll work, because it looks like an attempt has been made. We've got some scratches right in there, looks like. Maybe that's not too deep, I don't know. So, but we do need to see what it looks like underneath this thing. There's a good possibility there's some destroyed solder mask underneath there that we will have to repair. So let me get the preheater set up, and I will I could probably take that one off without the preheater since most of the balls aren't attached, but I'll probably use the preheater and take it off and see if we can reball it and maybe salvage that south bridge. I do have others, but I'd like to salvage that one if I could. Well, with our south bridge changed out, it's time to see if we've done any good here. This is the first time I've put power on this board. Well, I suppose other than when we first plugged it in, but as far as my workbench power supply. So let's give it 12 volts and see if she'll draw a reasonable amount of current, or if that south bridge is even good. Yes, 300 milliamps, 297, I'll take it, and back down. That looked healthy and normal. Is that all this thing needs? Just that south bridge to be installed properly? That will be very nice. Let's put it in the chassis and see if it will turn on now. Maybe. Fingers crossed. I have slipped the board back into the chassis and got it together just enough to test. Time to find out if we've done any good with this one. That looks promising. Love to see a picture. There we go. We have a picture. All right, I think we're working. Is that all I needed? Is that everything? That's too easy. Let me give it a thorough checkout. I'll put it together and we'll install a game and see what it does. Well, this PS5 is fully reassembled and I'm giving it a good test so far. Everything's looking beautiful. No issues. It's on firmware 9.20, so that's nice. But I'll give it a more thorough checkout. But so far, a little Elden Ring on there. She's running just fine. So, just a south bridge that was poorly installed. And that probably happens a lot. So anyway, I hope you liked that one. Thought it was somewhat interesting, educational, entertaining, any of the above. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the very next repair. Bye for now.